This podcast serves Middle Tennessee every weekday morning, and it's made possible by member support. Learn how you can make a difference at WPLN.org/support.
This is the Nashvillager podcast. It's June 30th, 2025. On this day in 1972, Opryland opened. The legendary amusement park was, for years, Nashville's top tourist attraction, with an average of 2 million visitors annually. I was born after Opryland shut its doors in 1997, but it's always lived large in my mind, as my mom remembers racing a chimpanzee on a tricycle there as a child. She also remembers losing to said chimpanzee after he held her tire so he could cross the finish line first. Opryland had a lot of fun to offer: roller coasters and water rides, a railroad that looped around the park, a petting zoo, and Monkey Island, an antique carousel hand-carved in Germany, and, of course, live music performances. The park hosted multiple shows per day from a cast of local musicians. 2 years after the park opened, the Grand Ole Opry House opened next door. And while the Grand Ole Opry lives on, the park does not. It was demolished to make room for what we all know today as the Opry Mills shopping mall. I'm sure there's plenty of amusement to be had at the mall, maybe at the IMAX theater or munching on an Auntie Anne's pretzel, but there is a part of me that wishes I could visit the Opryland of days past, and maybe even race an unlikely opponent on a tricycle. I'm Cynthia Abrams, in for Nina Cardona, and this is your daily digest of what's happening around Middle Tennessee from Nashville Public Radio, WPLN News. In just a few minutes, we'll hear about WNXP's Nashville Artist of the Month, Jarren Blair, a local musician whose work is often off the cuff. That's coming up after the newscast. Here's the latest from WPLN News. Workers at Vanderbilt University Medical Center who specialized in supporting LGBTQ patients have been laid off. That's according to a social media post from the Tennessee Transgender Task Force, Tennessee Equality Project, and Nashville Queer History. They say at least 4 people who worked in the program for LGBTQ health have been let go. The groups say the layoffs have effectively ended services those individuals were delivering, including VUMC's Trans Buddy program. It connected transgender patients with volunteers to support them through their doctor's appointments. This month, the medical center announced it would be laying off nearly 2% of its total workforce due to federal funding cuts. It's unclear whether these specific layoffs are part of the broader dismissals. The medical center had said the personnel cuts would mainly affect researchers, administration, and support staff. The UMC did not immediately respond to a request for comment. In the social media post, the LGBTQ groups say Vanderbilt has a history of harming marginalized people. They point to the release of medical records from its transgender clinic to Tennessee's Attorney General in 2023. Back then, a spokesperson for the medical center said they were obligated to comply. As Pride Month comes to an end today, Nashville's LGBTQ celebrations have been bittersweet. This month marks the 10-year anniversary of the landmark Supreme Court decision that legalized gay marriage. But earlier this month, the Supreme Court sided with the state of Tennessee in another landmark case, which banned gender-affirming care for transgender teens. WPLN's Mariana Bacalhau spoke with Pride-goers about their thoughts on the ruling.
It's really frustrating. It makes me feel kind of sick.
And the fact that, this is something that's being taken away from people is so, just, anti-human to me.
I don't really think it's the government's business what trans kids do. And trans kids, especially at a time like this, need a lot of protection and support. And it sucks that the trans community is getting, vilified so much.
That was Sloan Harris, Jordan Jackson, and Clara Reindell. Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti, who defended the state law before the Supreme Court, has called the ruling a, quote, win for democracy. New Tennessee laws taking effect tomorrow will address immigration, reproductive health, retail crime, and artificial intelligence. One bill upholds the right of healthcare providers to offer fertility treatments and contraceptives, and the right of individuals to receive them. Both progressive groups and Republicans supported the measure because fertility care affects many people, according to the Tennessean. Another bill will make it a felony to harbor undocumented immigrants. Charitable organizations that house them will be held legally liable if they are convicted of a crime. Immigration advocates have filed a lawsuit in Nashville arguing that the bill is too vague. Several new bills will change criminal law, including increasing the statute of limitations for child abuse sex felonies and expanding what constitutes retail crime to include evading devices meant to prevent shoplifting. Another bill makes it illegal to possess, distribute, or produce technology that includes a minor engaged in sexual activity. You may not have heard of the enrollment cliff, but universities across the country sure have. It's a looming drop-off in the number of students expected to graduate high school this year, and fewer grads means more competition for college recruiting. It's against this backdrop that the University of Tennessee Knoxville is setting its enrollment goals even higher. Already, the school planned to increase its on-campus headcount to 41,000 by 2030. Now, the school has announced it will also try to enroll 14,000 students online at the same time. The Knoxville News Sentinel reports UT is uniquely positioned to overcome the enrollment cliff. While the national population of high school graduates is projected to drop, Tennessee's is expected to increase. But that could result in fiercer recruitment from out-of-state schools. University Chancellor Don D. Plowman will present details on the new plan to the UT System Board of Trustees this week. In 1925, the Butler Act made it illegal to teach evolution in Tennessee public schools. That same year, in the town of Dayton, high school teacher John Scopes was convicted of breaking that law in what became known as the Scopes Monkey Trial. And while the Butler Act was repealed in 1967, a 2011 law requiring students to be taught the evolution versus creationism argument still stands. On our daily show, This is Nashville, retired public school teacher and Scopes trial expert Wesley Roberts suggests a way for teachers to adhere to the law.
I think that probably a really good practice for teachers now is to first teach the controversy law itself by having the students read the law and then discuss what does this mean, how are we going to deal with this, and I think that that's a very effective way to do that.
Visit thisisnashville.org to hear more from Roberts and learn what Dayton and Vanderbilt have planned to commemorate the Scopes trial centennial. You'll find more news anytime at WPLN.org. WNXP's Nashville Artist of the Month for June is Jarren Blair. He's a highly collaborative artist who has carved out a space for himself in the city's improvisational music scene. Music reporter Justin Barney dropped in on one of Blair's sets in East Nashville and tells the story of how Blair is providing a path for himself and other new musicians.
Jarren Blair's Inglewood Lounge set defies Nashville concert logic. He hosts a reoccurring improv music set with local musicians on Sunday nights. Any promoter in town would tell you that every word in that sentence means less attendance. This past Sunday, there was a good chance that he could have been playing to an empty room, but that place was packed. The crowd was standing up, begging for more. Blair behind the mic, orange and white Nikes, shoulder-length dreads in his face, looking quietly confident in the middle of it all, smiling as he improvises lyrics on the spot and pulls musicians up onto the stage. The jam, as he calls it, is fun for the audience who gets to participate in the creative process in real time, but it's also a very smart way for a relatively unknown musician like Blair to collaborate with musicians in the city. Blair stands out as an artist on the brink of a breakout because of his talent as a writer and producer, skill as a multi-instrumentalist, and his eagerness to collaborate with Nashville musicians.
There's so many amazing artists here that can do things that I cannot do with my voice. Like, it's crazy.
His collaborations have been paying dividends. He was on stage at Bonnaroo this year, featured on an Olivia Jones song in rotation on WNXP, and is bragged about by the R&B scene here in Nashville, a city that he has lived in since he was 9 years old.
I'm not a unicorn, but I'm like a unicorn without the horn, basically. I'm a Pegasus or something.
As an 11-year-old in Hendersonville, Blair, wanting to play piano, heard one song on the radio that changed everything.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing, I'm homebound. First song on piano.
Then he started doing some songwriting camps.
That's when I started seeing the level of musicianship in Nashville, and that's when I kind of tried to start growing as a musician as well as a writer.
But here he was, this kid who is making songs inspired by Frank Ocean and SZA, next to all these people writing country music.
Kind of never felt like I fit into a specific scene or box in town.
And so if you don't fit into a scene, you have to start your own. And so he started putting on this show called Boogie Bash. While doing that, he meets Nashville's R&B scene, Tim Gent, A.B. Eastwood, Brian Taylor, Lauren McClinton, Jemiah, and he teams up with A.B. Eastwood to make a song called Space Jam. As a kid making a song in his dorm, this song just catches on. People love it.
It was crazy. I mean, it was like affirming for me knowing that, like, okay, I can build this community around music, and this one song can kind of like mean something for people. It's just a great feeling.
For his upcoming album, Chips Are Down, Blair's betting on himself. Though it's really a uniquely Jarren Blair celebration of Nashville and the musicians in it.
Being able to use the community that I built playing for other people and being in the jams, it's cool because I kind of get like, I have a tap into, you know, the coolest people that are doing cool stuff here. I'm really excited to have this album out, just like stand on it.
Blair's been on a tear recently. He's releasing this album with a ton of Nashville musicians. He's playing on people's records, and he's doing improv nights at 3 venues around town.
It's work, but it's worth it. Really, I'm just like a fan of these people, like at the end of the day, because I feel like my music is better because of them being a part of it.
Nashville has this old music reputation of being a place where an artist can move and start a career. Sometimes it feels like that dream is dying. But Jarren Blair, a musician who's trying to do the same thing, is providing spaces in the improv music scene where that dream is a reality.
A lot of the times I'm meeting people as soon as they're like their first week in the city, they're coming to the jam and they're like, what is this?
Outside of Inglewood Lounge, there was a tall, skinny guy named Paul holding a saxophone.
One of my friends, actually from Chicago, he moved down here a number of years ago, and I moved down here like 2 weeks ago, and he invited me out for one of these jams. So first time here, just trying to get my name out there and have some fun, play some music.
If you're looking for the soul of Nashville, you'll find it in Jarren Blair. For Nashville Public Radio, I'm Justin Barney.
Yo, make some noise for the house, babe.
Thanks for listening to the Nash Villager podcast. We take this look at Nashville news every weekday. If you like it, go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcasting app. And tell a friend or give us a mention on your socials. It really helps get the word out. And of course, everything at WPLN News is listener supported. You can become a member at WPLN.org. That's it for today. Thanks so much for listening. Let's make this day a good one. And we'll catch back up tomorrow. Lucky for you, your regular host, Nina Cardona, will be back in the saddle.